How do I choose the best properties to buy? In today's video, we are going to be answering this frequently asked question, especially with the arrays of properties in the market. There are a lot of properties in the market to the point that you sometimes get confused on the one to choose to buy. So in this video, we are going to be treating how you can pinpoint the best property for you to buy, especially as a first-time investor. How do I know that this is the best one to go for? Watch this video to the end and you'll be glad you did. Welcome to the Real Estate Therapist channel. Let's get right into the video. So the first thing to consider in choosing the best property for you is to consider your investment goal. What is your investment goal? What do you hope to achieve with this investment? Are you buying because you want to buy and build and live, right? Or are you buying because you want to invest, either to sell out in the future or build in the future and then rent it out or lease it out in the future? Or are you buying because you want to buy, build, and live? These are the things you need to consider in choosing a property to buy. Now, if you're buying to invest, right, you're buying because you want to invest, get appreciation on that property, and either resell or develop in the future or lease out in the future, then you'll be looking at a different perspective of things. And if you're buying to rent out, there are also a category of things to look out for. But if you're buying to live, there is that a very different thing also you need to look out for. But for the purpose of today's video, we are going to be looking at when you're buying because you want to make cash flow, right? That is either you're buying to resell in the future or you're buying because you want to build and rent. This is what we are going to be treating in today's video. Then in a subsequent video, we are going to be looking at for what to look out for because you want to build there and live there, right? So now that we know the things to consider when you are buying a property for cash flow reasons, that is to either resell or to rent out, to build and rent out. Let's look into that. So the first thing to look out for, to check where in that property you want to buy, is the neighborhood that that property is located, right? When it comes to a rental property, you want to check the neighborhood, how the neighborhood is. What is the security like in this particular neighborhood? What is the rental yield of this particular neighborhood? What is obtainable in this particular neighborhood? Are there schools there? What would make the rental value of properties in this particular neighborhood increase as time goes on? These are the things you want to actually check when you are buying because you want to build and rent out, right? Now, when you're buying to build and rent out, I would advise that in Enugu State, Nigeria, you buy close to a university, right? You buy close to a university or close to the market, right? Because these properties in this kind of areas usually have high rental yield because of the fact that there is a high demand for rental properties in student areas and also in market areas. So if you're buying because you want to rent out and you want to get a good rental value on your property, then you need to invest close to a university or close to a market. Then when it comes to resale properties, that is land banking opportunities, you are checking the appreciation rate of the neighborhood you are buying into. Because you want to resell in the future, you want to resell in a higher value, or you want to lease out in a higher value, you want to check the neighborhood of that particular property location. What is the driving force of that particular location? What is the appreciation rate like, right? So what has been the appreciation rate, the appreciation of properties there over time, even before you bought it? You need to check the drivers of appreciation in the particular location you want to buy into. right? That is what you check out for when it comes to land banking properties. Then the second thing you want to check out for in choosing a property to buy is the job market, especially when it comes to rental properties. So if you're buying to build a rental property, you want to check what the job market is like in the neighborhood you're buying into. What is going to drive people to this particular area? What would make rental demand for this particular area increase? Right? Why is this place high in demand for rental properties? Why? You want to look out for the job market. Is there a market there? Are there offices there? Or is it a school? That is why I say when it comes to Enugu, if you are looking at doing rental properties and you want to have high rental yield on your property, then you need to buy properties that are either close to the market or close to the school. In Enugu, we don't have so much offices, right? But if you can invest also invest in places close to offices, but majorly it's places close to the school or close to the market. But when it comes to investment properties, you need to look out at the future job market. What is coming to that location, right? What is coming to that location? Who is going to this location? Is there any huge establishment coming to this particular location? Is there any market coming around this particular location? Are there schools springing up in this particular location? These are the things you want to check out for in choosing a property. So if you're given like three options of properties to choose from, and let's say all of these properties have this kind of things attached to it, there are job markets there are future prospects for job opportunities in that particular location, there are incoming schools in that particular location, there are establishments moving to these particular locations, and perhaps the properties that you are given have these criteria, already have this kind of criteria. Then what you'll be looking out for in choosing the best is in terms of the pricing and in terms of the stability of documentation, that is ownership. So in pricing, you check when it comes to land banking. If it's called land banking, then you need to look at buying multiple. The beauty of land banking is when you buy multiple. So if there are options that will help you buy multiple plots to buying just one plot, then I would advise you go for the ones that will help you buy multiple plots. But when it comes to land banking, the only regret you have when you buy is that you did not buy a lot, right? So if there are options that will help you get more than one to getting just one, then go for that one that will help you get more than one. So what I'm saying in essence is that when there is a price variation and you see that these properties are actually in good locations and they have all of these things that I've listed so far, I would advise that you go for the ones that are cheaper, right? The cheaper end. But in choosing the cheaper one, the second thing you want to actually also consider is the genuinity of ownership, right? Documentation, the transfer of ownership, your legal standing, your legal backing to that property. That is another thing you need to consider before then hitting your chest and saying, okay, let me go for this cheaper one instead of going to the one that is more costlier. So let's say that there are two properties and one has a deed of assignment and another has a power of attorney. And the one that has power of attorney, of course, is cheaper than the one that has a deed of assignment, and you researched this deed of assignment and you found out that it is actually registered, then it is good to go for that deed of assignment land that is already registered, even though it is more expensive than the one of power of attorney. Why? Because when it comes to Nigeria, power of attorney is actually not a title document. It's actually regarded as just a receipt that there is actually a mutual understanding, not that there is a transfer of ownership to you. So if power of attorney is the only title document a particular property has, and this property is cheap, then I would advise please go for one that has a more stronger legal backing, right? Because when it comes to cheap lands, If the documentations are not intact, that means you will have to pay extra on the long run. So instead of buying land and then making more bigger expenses because you bought a cheaper land, maybe this power of attorney at a point and start having issues and you have to pay double for that land, then it's just simply being penny wise and pound foolish. So instead of going through all of those stress, it's much better to just go for the one that, even though it is more expensive, has a stronger legal backing, right? The next thing you want to check in choosing the property to buy are the amenities in place, right? Now, when it comes to rental properties, what are the amenities in the neighborhood? The thing that will give your property a higher rental yield are the amenities that will attract people to want to actually come and live in that place or in your property. Now, what are the amenities provided for in that neighborhood? And what are the amenities you are willing to give for your own particular property to attract more people to come in and live in your property, right? Then, when it comes to land banking properties, what you need to check, especially when you're buying in an estate, are the amenities that will be provided for on the long run in both the neighborhood and in the estate. What are the future infrastructures that are coming to that location? What are the ones that you are seeing now? What are the infrastructures provided for in this particular location as at now that I want to buy? Are the road accessible yet? Will it be tiled on the long run? Then in the particular place you're buying, especially when you're buying an estate, what are the amenities that will be provided for by the development company, right? What are they? Would there be good road network? Would there be security? Would there be power supply? Would there be water supply and all of those things? You need to check these amenities when deciding on the property to buy. Now, sometimes we kind of confuse which one is an estate and which one is a layout, right? And these things on the long run, you find out that you actually bought a layout when you thought you bought an estate. And most times you can actually get angry when you see that it's not really what you thought you bought that you bought. So I will explain the difference. Now, you need to be sure that you're buying an estate when you are buying an estate. And if it's a layout that you're buying, be sure that this is a layout that you're buying. So what is the difference between an estate and a layout? An estate are already pre-planned. The developers have already pre-planned the estate. This is the amenities that we are going to provide. We are going to have good road network for the occupants of this estate. We are going to build the road for them. We are going to build the drainages. We are going to put light in the estate. You don't have to go and put light in your own particular plot, right? We are going to do the electrifications. We are going to provide security for the estate and all of those things. So they have already specified what they are going to do in an estate. Whereas in a layout, the developers do not do all of these things for you. No, it is the occupants of the layout on the long run that will now go and find out how to provide these things for their own particular street or the entire layout, right? So in a layout, these things you do it yourself, but in an estate, the developers do them for you. So that is why most times an estate is more expensive than a layout, right? So most time when you see a cheap plot, when you see a cheap plot of land, please ask them if it's a layout or an estate. When you see a very cheap land, especially in Enugu, please ask them if it's a layout or an estate. If they say it's an estate, ask them who is going to develop it, who are the developers, what do they intend to do in this estate, and also ask if you are going to pay other fees like a development fee, because most times in an estate you pay development fee, but it's not so much compared to what the developers are going to be doing in the estate. So you just pay a chunk of that as an occupant in that estate, right? So you need to ask all of these questions and be sure you are buying the right thing. The next thing you want to also check in choosing a property, especially for land banking properties, are the future developments coming to that area. What are the future developments like? What is going to be done there? What is moving there? What are the government propositions for this particular location and all of that? You need to check it in choosing the property you want to buy. I hope you got value from this video. If you have any questions about real estate, about any other thing that I talked about in this video, kindly drop it on the comment section, or you can email it to me at justinade1@gmail.com. And of course, I'm going to give you the clarity that you need, and also subsequently make videos for more people to also get more clarity for the questions that you ask. So what did you enjoy most about the video? I want to also know what you enjoy most about the video, and also your contribution, your suggestion. What do you think we can do better? Kindly drop it on the comment section. Also like to hear from you and improve from that, from what you already have. And also kindly like the video if you found value, and also share it to your friends, to your contact list, to your group, anywhere you are. You know there are people that are looking for this information there. Kindly share the video. Let's reach out to more people. That is your little of supporting our ministry, and thank you very much as you do so. Also note that if you want to start investing and you need a one-on-one consultation to help you get things right, even if it's your very first time, of course you can message us at our WhatsApp number, which is going to be displaying on the screen: 081 2055 2218. And of course we're going to help you get it right. This is what we are here for. This is our mission. This is our embodiment to help you get your real estate investment right, even if it's your very first time. Thank you so much. And with this, we come to the end of the video. Until I come your way again, I am just Nadi, your real estate therapist. Do be good and have a beautiful day ahead. See you next time. Bye bye.